flexible person I have ever taught was also, for a long time, one of the hardest students I have ever taught. He was my neighbor. He had started practicing yoga at the gym, which meant yoga for him meant moving faster, going deeper, finding the hardest posture, sweating, burning. Those were his words: harder, deeper, faster. He was extremely flexible. He could get into poses that most people spend years working towards. Most people will never get into some of the poses he could get into. And he had absolutely no idea what yoga was actually for. Here's what most people get wrong about flexibility and yoga. Flexibility is a side effect of yoga. It is not the point of yoga, and it is definitely not a prerequisite for it. The idea that you need to be flexible before you start is completely backwards. It's like saying you need to be fit before you join a gym. The practice is how you get there. You don't arrive there first. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. But the bigger misunderstanding, the one my neighbor spent a year working through, is that flexibility can actually get in the way. I know that doesn't make sense. Let me tell you. When your body moves easily into deep positions, you can skip the part where you actually feel what's happening. You just arrive at the pose. You collect it like participation trophies and you move on to the next one. You never have to slow down, pay attention, or notice anything uncomfortable. And yoga is entirely about slowing down, paying attention, and noticing what's uncomfortable, what's happening. Every class, I would watch him rush through the postures, always wanting to push harder, go further, get to the next thing. And then we would reach Shavasana, the final resting posture, the one where you simply lie still and breathe and integrate everything that's come before. And he would fall apart, hands tapping, body restless. We're talking 8 minutes of stillness felt like punishment to someone who spent his whole life being rewarded for movement and achievement and doing the hard thing. And we used to walk our dogs in the neighborhood and talk. We'd have long conversations about why the pause mattered, what he was rushing toward, what he was avoiding when he refused to be still, and why was he so attached to the postures he could already do and so resistant to the one thing yoga was actually trying to teach him. And so it took him a year, a full year of showing up, of me being patient, of him being frustrated, of slow conversations on neighborhood walks. And then one day, he could lie in Shavasana and just breathe. He could sit in stillness and notice his thoughts instead of outrunning them. And he understood finally why he was doing the postures at all. And I learned as much teaching him as he learned from me, because let me tell you, I wanted him to get it immediately. I had to find my own patience watching him find his. So when someone tells me they're not flexible enough to start yoga, I think about him. Flexibility was never the skill that mattered. The skill that mattered was slowing down enough to feel something. And that skill has nothing to do with how far you can bend. A stiff body moving slowly and paying attention is doing far more yoga than a flexible body rushing through postures for the achievement of it. And you do not need to be flexible to start. You need to be willing to practice and to notice. And you already know how to do that. You just might not have given yourself permission to practice it yet. And if you're in Nampa, Boise, Caldwell, Meridian, anywhere in Canyon County, come practice with us at 2C Yoga in Nampa. We have 3 weeks of unlimited yoga for $70 for new students, and we will meet you exactly where you are, and we will not rush you. That new student link is below. And remember, the most flexible person in the room is not the best at yoga. The most present person is. And presence doesn't require flexible hamstrings. It just requires showing up.